The so-called third positionists, which is sort of like neo-fascism, have a lot in common with Marxists. And the reason why they have a lot in common is because they both share the same epistemological belief of a collectivized consciousness. So, in other words, that a person's consciousness is transferred within a certain group, whether it be racial, economic class, or whether it be some other quote unquote minority class, whatever that is, that they share the same experiences, right? Which is false because every individual has their own particular experiences. But, this Hegelian, it's not just Hegelian, actually, it goes back way before that. This very mystic concept actually has its roots in ancient Greece. But Hegel specialized in this, and Hegel, his dialectic was the godfather of Marx. This thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Whereas Karl Marx, it was the proletariat, the bourgeoisie, and this dissolution of capitalism. The third positionists also espouse this collectivized consciousness and talk about the nation, where people within the nation has this collectivized consciousness, that there aren't individual differences, fundamental differences between people, that not everybody can do the same things, that everybody has different directions or different things that they have to do to survive. You got one person who's an entrepreneur, the next person is a ditch digger. There's nothing wrong with either one of them. It's just that they prefer to do different things. So, a lot of times third positionists will lump Marxism with capitalism in this weird, thing. But they'll say that the capitalists and the Marxists are the same because they're both individualistic, which is completely false. Marxism is collectivism. These people that you see today, the modern sort of American version of Marxism, where you got, the trans class and the black people and the Hispanic people and men versus women. That is Marxism. It is collectivism. It's the idea that all women have the same consciousness against the man consciousness, and the white consciousness versus the black consciousness versus the Asian consciousness versus the Hispanic consciousness. This is all rubbish. Consciousness is an individualized phenomenon. Consciousness is an emergent property of how an individual brain is organized. So a case in point is you take someone who's blind, that doesn't read like written words and doesn't have like the imagery, the same kind of imagery that somebody with eyes does, still has a consciousness because they could still use metaphors or use abstractions from the words that they hear or can feel or touch and taste. Or someone who's deaf can still read, and can still use like a visualization of words. You get someone who's blind and deaf, still has the ability to use abstractions through touch, and can use abstractions. So it doesn't matter how you get these abstractions. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman whose brains work very differently. At the end, they still have the ability to abstract something like this right here, like this object, that this allows electric current to go through, of electrons to go through this conduit. It doesn't matter. Women understand that. Men understand that. A blind person can understand that. A black person can understand. A white person can understand it. It doesn't matter. So there is no collectivized consciousness. Consciousness is an individualized phenomenon that perceives reality, provided that it's honest and rational. So maybe instead of worrying so much about other people and worrying about, wanting to try to believe in some external authority that they hope to take care of them, maybe they should learn how to take care of themselves.